the goal of this group, we just actually fleshed out our vision statement or kind of rehashed it. But our vision for this group is to elevate the roofing industry and build a future where every company, regardless of size, has the resources and support to achieve limitless success. That's what we're all about. We come together, we remove the limits on our success. So one of the things we want you guys to experience as members is great relationships with suppliers and manufacturers. It's just a different relationship when we can go and meet in person with the VPs or CEOs of Beacon or SRS or whoever it is and say, look, this is what our members need. So we've been working for when we launched this GPO, this buying group, the only supplier partner we had was SRS, and SRS has been a good partner. But we knew long term we really needed at least two supplier partners to serve you guys well, so that we aren't just you aren't limited to one supplier. So we've been talking to Beacon for really almost since the beginning. And the bigger we've gotten as a group, we're up to almost 300 members now. It's getting to the point in the industry where vendors are coming to us saying, hey, you guys were mentioned to me 2 or 3 times this week. What do we need to do to work together? So as we've gotten bigger and built momentum, which is because of you guys joining the group, now we have the attention the conversations are getting easier with big suppliers and manufacturers. So long story short, we've been talking to Beacon for a few months. We pushed really hard for a win-win situation where Beacon wins because they get more business. You guys win because you get a good program, and we all win. So we have negotiated a deal with Beacon. We are officially bringing them on as a supplier partner in addition to SRS distribution. And they have been really creative and generous with the program. And I think you're going to like it a lot. So this is going to be in your member portal. It may not be updated as of this morning, but we'll update the portal so you can go in your member portal and just go to the website and click log in. If you forgot your password, you can change it. The details will be in there, so don't feel like you have to, but we don't want to email this out. Suppliers and manufacturers do not like it when you email rebate programs. But the program is as a Limitless member, you guys get 2% back, a 2% back rebate program on all of your purchases with Beacon. There are some exclusions, and the exclusions are pretty much the same as SRS distribution. So a lot of low slope items are excluded, and then some specialty stuff is excluded. But you get 2% back on all your purchases. You also get an extra 1% back for year-over-year growth. So let's say you purchased $500K in materials from Beacon last year, you join Limitless, and in the next 12 months you purchase $1 million, you're going to get an extra 1% back for that extra $500K. In addition to that, you're going to get an extra 0.5% for all of their Tri-Built products. That's Beacon's branded accessories and stuff like that. And the great part about this is that when you opt into this program, you get to experience this right out of the gate. There's no gates. It's from $1. So you don't have to spend, you don't have to buy whatever 100 squares from them or anything like that. You get this rebate program immediately if you opt into it as a Limitless member. But let's say you grow and you get bigger, and maybe you're a $3 million a year company and you get up to 5 or 6 million, and your local Beacon rep at the local branch says, hey, I'd like to give you something. And you can say, well, I'm already in Limitless. I get 2% plus 1 for growth plus 0.5% for Tri-Built. The local rep can say, well, I'd like to do something more. And they can add to what you already get from Limitless. So anything a local branch offers will be on top of, not instead of. And again, feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. This will all be in the member portal. Reach out to Caston, reach out to the team. There are a few conditions. One, just like with SRS, you cannot purchase via credit card and still get your rebate. All the suppliers are making this a blanket rule across the board. If that's not something that's in your agreement with them, you are in a very unique situation, because all the suppliers are rolling this out. They are serious about it. You cannot purchase with a credit card and still get a rebate program from them. The other caveat is you can't double dip. So, or like right now, if you're getting 2% from your local branch or 1% or whatever, you can't get the Limitless deal too, to where then you're getting a total of 3 or 4. You have to opt into the Limitless program as the Limitless member, and that immediately opts you out of your local deal. But like I said, they can go back and add to it if that's a conversation you want to have with your local rep, just to at least get to where you already are, match where you're at, or whatever. All right. So any questions on that so far? Um, Jason, I'll let you go first. Nope, you good? David, any questions around that?
Yes. So when you say that we can't double dip, there is a rewards program for Beacon. If you order through the Beacon website or through Job Nimbus, and they give you, I don't know, I actually haven't ever logged in to see what I've earned, but they give you points, I guess, where you can either turn it in for cash or use it for merchandise. Is that does that get discontinued, or do you get to keep that and the 2%?
I'm assuming that's like a reward system that you get. I mean, let me check. So we talk with the national accounts director. His name's Michael Carver. Let me confirm. But what this is a rebate program on your material purchases. Normally, you would get a check from your supplier at the end of the year. Do you currently get that? Do you get a check at the end of each year? No. Okay. Yeah. So that's what this is. This is a rebate program where all of your spending normally you'd get a check at the end of the year. So what on average, what do you think you'll spend on materials this year?
I'll probably spend 2 million.
2 million. Okay. So let's see. And do you do most of your purchasing with Beacon?
All of it.
All of it. Gotcha. Yeah. So you stand to make 2% of that back. Do you purchase with a credit card?
No, line of credit.
Line of credit. Excellent. So this is a perfect case scenario. You will get 2% of that back plus 0.5% for the tri-built stuff, plus an extra one for year over year growth. Normally, the supplier gives this to you at the end of the year. It's a check that's sent to you, to your company. In this case, since you're a Limitless member, you're going to get these checks every quarter. We have to do some reporting back and forth with Beacon, so it may take a few weeks after the close of the quarter. But you're going to start getting checks just because you're a Limitless member, because Beacon wants a really strong relationship with Limitless members. So you're going to be getting some pretty good vacation money coming up here pretty soon.
That's awesome.
Yep. Any other questions, guys? Jason, are you currently buying from Beacon?
No, I'm currently not.
Okay. Who's your primary supplier?
ABC.
ABC. Gotcha. Well, you may want to have Beacon as a second choice. If ABC doesn't, if ABC doesn't have something you need, or if you just want to kind of have a primary and a secondary supplier. But even if you never buy from Beacon, a lot of times these programs, like what we've negotiated, take a while to build up. You have to be their customer for a year or two or three. You have to start really building volume. So the good thing about this is you'll get this out of the gate. You just have to fill out the form and opt in. I shared the form in the chat. This does not mean you have to buy from Beacon, guys. Opting into the form just means that you get this amazing program that we've negotiated with Beacon for our group. So I would recommend filling it out, Jason, whether you buy from them or not. At least you'll be on the list. And if you do buy from them, you'll be rewarded for that. Okay. Caston, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. So, I kind of wanted to bring this up as well because I know, for SRS it works this way. So I wanted to kind of like thinking it would work with Beacon, and a lot of contractors don't know about it. Is the early pay terms? So typically with SRS, you can get a 1% for early pay on your account, and that does actually go in conjunction with the 2%.
Nice.
So a lot of contractors don't know about it because it's something these suppliers aren't necessarily advertising or broadcasting, but it's all money in the bank. So that's kind of what David was asking. The reward should still be maintained because you're still purchasing. It's like when you go, I guess, use like a McDonald's app and you purchase things with their rewards program, you're still accumulating points even if you're using a deal.
No, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. And for those of you that just jumped on, Jason, John, Noe, Russell, what we're announcing here is a new partnership with Beacon. So whether Beacon is your primary supplier or not, we've spent months negotiating a new deal with Beacon. All the details will be in your member portal, but it's 2% back for all of your purchases. It's an extra 1% back for year over year growth and an extra 0.5% for Beacon's tri-built products. which is their white labeled or their branded products. The typical exclusions are in there. So there's certain specialty items that aren't included in that, and there's low slope items that are not included in that. And you can't purchase with a credit card, just like with the SRS deal. All the suppliers are moving to this. But you have to fill out this form. I shared it in the chat. I'll share it again real quick, just so it's the last item in the chat. Whether you guys buy from Beacon or not, fill this form out because it will ensure that your purchases get tracked and you get these rebate checks every quarter. And this is all in a long-term play to build a really strong relationship with our supplier partners. And especially with Beacon, we want to make sure that it's tracked and that you get paid for your material purchases because like David was saying, he's going to spend about $2 million in materials this year. That's a sizable rebate check. And it's a great thing to get at the end of the year. But of course, since you're a Limitless member, you're going to, one thing we've negotiated is quarterly rebate checks. So a few weeks after the close of each quarter, you're going to be issued, you're going to get an email from Limitless that says, it's going to probably say invoice. It's not actually invoice. It's going to show that you're due some rebate money. And we do that through bill.com, which is an encrypted platform. It's totally safe. We get a lot of emails saying, hey, is this you? I got this thing from bill.com. Yes, it's us. It's because it's encrypted and it's safe. You're going to receive an email. You just need to follow the process and you will get paid electronically.
How does the year-over-year growth get measured on this year since we're starting in September? We have significant growth in 2024 over 2023, but how do they measure that since it's like a prorated year?
Yeah, so good question. It'll start from the date that you sign up. So they're not going to retroactively go back to January 1st, 2024. They're going to go, what is today? September 4th. So from September 4th to September 4th next year, that's how they'll track it. It's a trailing 12 months, I think is what they call it.
So we don't get any growth this year for going over last year then.
I don't believe so. I mean, that's not the way it's set up with SRS, and that's not anything we've discussed with Beacon. We can ask, but yeah, typically it's just a trailing 12. Any other questions? Excellent. Well, guys, this isn't a long call. This is just kind of an update on the new biggest partnership we've got. I can tell you that Beacon has been really creative and wants to form a really strong relationship with our group. So I think you're going to see a lot more of them. And then we've got our event coming up on October 1st. I hope you guys can be there at the Chief Stadium. We're going to have a lot of fun together. It's going to be great to see you guys in person. And if you're a platinum member, you get a free ticket. If you're a platinum member of Limitless, and if you're a forged member in Limitless, you get a free VIP ticket. So really looking forward to seeing you guys in person. That's where the magic happens. Zoom calls are great, but there's just nothing like sitting down in person, talking shop, networking, getting to know each other. So really hope you guys can make it. But we'll share this. So we'll text this to everybody. We will email everybody. You just got to fill out this form. This stuff has to be tracked. Otherwise you won't get credit. So we can't go to Beacon in 6 months and say, hey, I joined Limitless. Where's my rebate check? If we don't have this form filled out, Beacon has no record that you opted in, and you have to opt in. They want to know that you're opting in to this. All right, guys. And as always, if there's any supplier, if there's any vendor that you think would be helpful to your growth, helpful to our group, let us know. We will reach out to them. And if there's anything we can do to serve you guys, let us know. We want to elevate this group and help everybody achieve the success they want.